seconds. But inshallah, can you give like a quick intro in Sunnah Spot and what you guys do, what you guys are about?
Yeah, so basically, it's in this spot really, it started out as just like a basketball program because I used to play basketball very competitively, and I wanted to like play professionally actually. And then when I became Muslim when I was like 14, so like slowly as I kind of went throughout my journey, I started realizing like I don't really want to be in this kind of environment. So then so one day I was just we were just like I had a regular job or whatever, right? But I'm like I didn't like the environment, like I wanted to do my own thing. So then another brother, he's a Muslim brother, we're like, let's just start like a basketball program for youth. So we created this program now for youth where they can come and play basketball, but they don't have to worry about like the fitness, like music and stuff like that. And then slowly you just progress from that to being like other aspects as well, like fitness, other programs where like, like we don't just have to focus on basketball. That's what we're doing, but we can get people to do programs for soccer or what you guys call it football. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the right
but
word is football, but we'll let that slide.
yeah, thank you. Football. So yeah, like we're like, we can create programs for this stuff too. And then that's basically where it started, and then it just kept growing from there because we see like the benefit in it. A lot of Muslims like you want to have your own place to go, but you want it to be competitive because we go to masjids and stuff. Like I don't know, you guys, we have bigger masjids here. I'm not taking a shot at you or whatever. I'm just saying like so we have gyms and stuff most of the time. Like most masjids they have gyms.
In the mosques.
Yeah, they have like a
Oh,
basketball court,
that's amazing.
weightlifting, like everything. But like the programs there, they're not competitive. They're not like youth come there, but they don't want to stay there. You come like for the open gym, and like you
Yeah.
don't even they don't even preach a lot. They just go and hoop or play football, whatever it is. Um, so then basically we're like, hey, we want to make something that's still competitive though. So they're not like going to these other leagues and stuff
Yeah, yeah.
thinking like, oh, it's better, but you can still come in and get just as good. Like I played, high level. The other brother did as well, but you don't have to worry about like music and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that
So
sounds amazing.
yeah, that's basically how it started, and then yeah,
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Especially your mosques have gyms and basketball courts. That's
yeah, it's
as
crazy. I
a
mean,
I'm
especially like
definitely not on
in
that level, but alhamdulillah, they're
yeah,
good. Alhamdulillah, they're good.
yeah. But you have better curing, mashallah. Like I was just there in September or
All right,
October as
okay.
well. I was actually with
Oh,
Anas, like we're
oh,
big fans and stuff. So yeah, it's way better there though. But I'm just saying like the size of the masjid here because
yeah,
it's a bigger Canada's bigger, it's just different.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
guys have like many like at every corner.
Yeah, I
And
think
there's
my
the
from my house, there's probably about five mosques within like 5 minutes walking distance. Like every corner,
mashallah.
they're just a mosque.
Yeah. Here we'll
Yeah.
have like 6, 7 big mosques and then maybe 4 or 5 small musallas and then that's it.
Okay, okay. So we got the questions here. So we might as well just get started straight in there. Okay, so what motivated you to start a fitness journey and start Sunnah Sport?
So yeah, basically, I mean, like I just mentioned, like how we kind of started it, just to provide Muslims with this space to come, and they don't have to worry about the negative aspects. Even when you go to the gym, like you hear music and stuff, or as brothers, I mean, we see women and we see, there's music and or even just competing with other people. Maybe it's a negative mentality. You don't want to go in there thinking like, like trying to be big man or whatever. You just want to improve yourself. So just that environment I felt it affected me negatively. That's why I stopped playing basketball, just because, I'd be going to the gym and I want to go and play, but um, there's music playing like so loud you can't even hear yourself, like in the basketball court, and the
Yeah,
people around me they're talking about, girls or whatever. That's just not appropriate. Like I didn't feel comfortable, or time would come for prayer and no one else is Muslim there, and like I'll go but like I'm delaying it or whatever because I want to keep playing. But when we have this environment where we're all Muslims and we can benefit each other, shaitan can get the sheep who's alone, right? So when
yeah,
we're his brothers and we're all playing basketball, but then now we'll all stop and we'll all go pray and then we come back. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I just
Definitely,
wanted
it's
to
that
kind of
sense of
encourage that.
community, right?
Yeah, and then the fitness aspect started because I played, like I said, basketball, but I never really cared about fitness or like anything like that. I just want to play basketball. But after some time, I realized to get better, you have to get in better shape, and there's other stuff you have to work on. But as you're a kid, you just want to play like for fun. So And I was really overweight actually when I was like 14, like really overweight. I was like 5'2" and like 170 pounds. Like it was, so it was I had to get better at that aspect of the game. And that's where I learned a lot about like dieting and when you play on teams and stuff, we have trainers and all that stuff. So that's where basically I got my knowledge. Most of my knowledge comes from experience, but that's really what matters. It's not really something you can just learn in a book. Like you can learn about this kind of stuff, but it's not a one size fits all. It's not black and white. It's like for this person it's maybe like this, for this person it's like this. Depends on your routine. So like when you've been through all these diets, like I've been through like keto diets, intermittent fasting, trying different things to lose weight, water fasting, stuff like that you know is not right.
Yeah.
And you most of it, yeah, it comes from experience. Reading books and stuff, it'll help you more, but the main thing is experience when it comes to something like this.
So what kind of impact, this is not on one of the questions, but just following on from there, what kind of impact have you seen Sunnah Sport? Like what kind of impact have you seen from
Yeah.
Sunnah Sport like starting?
I mean, just one, like, subhanAllah, there's this one kid it just came to my mind that he came. We had a youth program for basketballs, right? And it was like I think like 10 to 14-year-olds came, and there's one brother. He's 14. He's considered like an adult Islamically, right? He reached the age of
Yeah.
maturity, but he didn't know how to pray or make wudu. And we're in the masjid and it's time to pray, and we're all gonna pray. And he asked us like, "Can you show me how to make wudu?" Because his parents didn't have time to teach him. They're really busy. So like we just started this like to be a basketball thing, just like a fitness thing. But when he came and he asked, like now every time he makes wudu, like we get inshallah the benefit of it, right? Like the reward. But
Yeah, that's amazing.
that's just it. Like, and the benefit is like connecting with the youth because we were all there, like all of us here, we're all teenagers recently, so we know like the life, like the stuff they deal with. So the main thing with that we feel we benefit is like you want to be like on their level, like giving dawah to someone, you have to know the people you're giving dawah to as well, right? But like uh, I feel like masjids and stuff, sometimes the people running it, like I'm not like, in certain areas they don't know like the youth and how to speak with them. Like you guys know who like dawah man is, right?
Yeah.
We actually work with him a little bit, not him, but he has a kind of affiliate in Ottawa, in my city.
Okay.
And you see the way he gives it is because he can connect with the youth. So we try to do the same thing through sports and stuff, but a lot that's where you feel like the benefit comes from, is that we were just there. I just like I wasn't like the best basketball player, but like at least the other brother was like ranked like top 20 in Canada, and he had offers to some schools that like form like current NBA players went to.
Oh, that's
So like when
crazy.
the kids come and they see him, they think they feel kind of proud, like like, oh, this is a Muslim too, and but they don't feel like I can be Muslim, I can still hold on to my deen, and I can still play competitively. So I think that's another benefit. Like kids can see that,
Yeah. Like, yes, kind of being that role model for kids.
Yeah, not yeah. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, more like their friend too. I'm not. We don't
Oh
really
yeah.
put ourselves on like a pedestal. Like
Yeah.
we're not really like. Obviously, we're all struggling, but we're more just like on their level, just connecting with them as
Yeah.
a friend type thing.
Yeah, that's
So,
beautiful.
yeah.
So the next question is, why should Muslims be exercising?
Muslims should be like, well, taking care of your body is worship if your intention is correct. If your intention is that this is something that Allah has given to me and I should take care of it, I shouldn't be harming it by overeating excessively or smoking or whatever. And exercising and staying in shape will allow you to perform acts of worship for a long period of time. Something like Hajj, which I haven't been on, inshallah I will. I'm not sure if you guys have, but as most of it we all know, it's very difficult. And when people reach old age or even young age, it's something that's not easy to do. So you can make that intention that because of Hajj, I want to stay in shape. Or when you see, sometimes uncles and stuff, you see them like they get old and they can't, of course, there's certain reasons you can't avoid, but in some cases they could have avoided it. But now they can't pray properly, whatever, because they just didn't take care of their health. So if your intention is that, I want to exercise and stay in shape so I can perform acts of worship for a long period of time, then that's something we should be doing. And it's dawah too. Like I feel like as Muslims we should be the best in every way, not just like our character is most important, but also how we look. you know, a lot of times you'll see people like out of shape and stuff, and it's just that perspective. I feel like we should be the best in every way, and it's dawah, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so true.
yeah.
Okay, so going on to the next question, what mindset do you need for fitness?
The mindset. Getting into fitness, you have to have the mentality that it's a long-term thing. It's not like it's not something like I'm just gonna do this for like 1 month or 2 months and then I'm done. It's a long-term kind of goal. So when you see it that way, you don't expect results right away. And you have to understand that if you haven't been exercising ever, or you've been eating a certain way for 5 years, 10 years, your entire life, you're not gonna change overnight. You know what I mean? It takes time, like consistency, um, and small changes here and there, and a long-term mindset. That's the main thing you have for fitness. Otherwise, you know, you won't. It's not something you just want to do for some time, right? You want to do it your entire life, inshallah. So you have to understand it that way, and you have to be comfortable with who you are. Um, and also the other thing I would say is like don't compare yourself to others, especially like in the media and stuff. Like even as brothers, like I know this too. I'm not saying like I'm really happy with my body now, but I'm saying um, when I really wasn't happy with it, I would see pictures and stuff of stuff online, you know, and people have like these abs and stuff, and I realize now like that's just like the lighting, the Photoshop, the post workout pump, but really I can get that nowadays. I can get those like images when I it just worked out, but otherwise I don't look at all. Nobody looks like that. So understanding that nobody really looks for the way that you see online, and then you'll feel more comfortable and you won't feel like pressured to do it. Like you know, it's not like don't focus on these pictures or not models or whatever celebrities or athletes we see because most don't actually look like that. Like when they walk around and stuff. So when we just look in the mirror, that's us walking around and we think like, oh, we can't be like that. And then the mindset, like going back to the other thing, like making sure that your intention is correct, because good health is a risk, right? Like it's from Allah. So um, making dua is also important because it's provisions, and Prophet ﷺ would make dua for good health as well, right? So that's another thing I would add.
Yeah, so it's kind of being patient, focusing on yourself, and being committed.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, like being
So
patient.
going off that, I know it's not one of the questions, but
Yeah.
if you were just starting and you want to
Mm.
like, you know, have that focus and be driven and have like that long-term aim, where would you first start to ensure that you're consistent with it?
Like what would I? Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, where would you start in terms of like your fitness journey? If you want
Yeah.
to like be consistent with it and have like a long-term aim, in
Mm.
terms of like getting fit and healthy, where would you first start to ensure that you don't like get burnt out or work too
Yeah.
hard? Like where would you first start?
I feel like it's different for everybody though, because everyone has certain habits. If your habit is eating really bad food, then you could start by kind of eliminating like the really junk food, the real like the real bad stuff. Like I'm not talking like a burger is not terrible. Like I always say that's another like a burger. If you think about it, it's like meat, you know, some lettuce, some tomato, some bread. But I'm talking about the chips. You guys call it chips, right? I think, or you
Crisps,
guys
crisps, as in like,
Chris,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that Chris,
yeah,
biscuits, like ice cream. That stuff like makes you feel groggy. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah.
feel this kind of disgust. Like that's the process of. I'd say start by taking that stuff out. You know, you can replace having like cookies with like I don't know pancakes or homemade cookies or a muffin. You know, it just stuff that doesn't make you feel like groggy. That in terms of being healthy, because there's one thing to be healthy and one thing to be like in really good shape. Like you could be like ripped and everything, um, or you could be you know kind of like you're not too happy with your body, but you're still a healthy person. So I would say start by trying to be a healthy person by eliminating those like processed foods because that stuff's just like disgusting, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then you know if you don't work out at all, start with body weight exercises at home. It's really a lot of people think it doesn't. It's not like you know what I mean, like good, but it's amazing body weight. Like I've been doing body weight exercises for since like last Ramadan because of a lot of the coronavirus. I don't even
Yeah.
before that. I hated going to the gym. I hated going because like I said, you know, I stopped going to the gym now. But I just have a few dumbbells at home, like light dumbbells. I'm not talking like expensive. No, just like you guys using kgs, right? So probably like 10 kgs, 12 kgs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just use those and do body weight a lot, and my body has progressed so much. But people think like, oh, you need a gym or whatever. This is just you telling yourself, because you don't want to get into it, but really you don't need a gym. And it does, and then people say, yeah, you don't need a gym, but I can work out at home, but I'm gonna have to work harder. No, you actually don't. It's not that. It's how you work out, and I guess we can get into that a bit, but yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, what do you think about 1 month transformations being advertised?
1 month transit. Yeah, these 1 month, this got me too. Like, we all see like these things like, yo, mashallah, bro, this brother, he's like overweight and now he's six pack, like ripped, mashallah. All that stuff, those are people who used to work out, so they have muscle memory, or you know, even me, I get a little overweight sometimes. Anas probably knows, like when I came back from UK, you guys have a lot of halal food, mashallah, like everywhere. So we don't have that like that here. We still have halal
Yeah, Anas knows
locations,
the
but
spots.
yeah,
Yes, bro.
all the mashallah, all the sweet spots. So I ate so much. When I came back, I was out to sea, but for me, it just took like a month to get back because I was just there. But these people that who never worked out, they don't have like any muscle underneath their body fat, maybe. That's for them. It's gonna take a little longer than that. Not too long, but it won't. It'll take longer. But these people that you see these 1 month, 3 month transformations, they have muscle underneath, and they just put on some weight. They all just have to get rid of like 10, 15 pounds. They're really going like by the book. Um, but yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, so the next one is how to incorporate sports and fitness into a busy lifestyle. I'm guessing like, especially if you're like students, long
Yeah.
days, or if you're working and it's long days, you come home late. So how do you fit that in?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's anything too busy. There's no too busy. Like maybe in sports, you could be like a little bit busy because you have to maybe arrange it. You have to go to a certain location. But in terms of sports, join clubs and stuff. If you're not like too serious about getting good, if you're not trying to like train and be like the best, football player, you're just trying to play football like once or twice a week. Join these clubs. I'm not sure if you guys have any, maybe you do. But join these like programs. Sign up for Sunnah as well. I'm joking, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can join these like locations so that you have it in your schedule. But in terms of fitness, in terms of this body weight exercising at home, like you don't need time for that, bro. You need like 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, and you do that 3 times a week. You're telling me somebody doesn't have 20 minutes? They have 20 minutes to scroll through Instagram or whatever, but you don't have 20 minutes to just do a quick workout, and it will progress. So I don't think there's nothing like a busy lifestyle. If you're trying to get like really D's and massive though, that okay, maybe because you really need to work out like 6 times a week, and you're gonna need like weights, you're gonna need to go to a gym, or you're gonna need to have weights. That is something that you just really have to plan. But I feel like most people, they don't really want to get like that. You just want to get in better shape and be happy with your body. You do not need a lot of time for that. You do not. 30 minutes 3 times a week, an hour and a half. There's no way nobody has enough time for that. It's just a matter of how much you want it.
Yeah, I guess if you want it, you'll put in 20 minutes every
Yeah.
other day. It shouldn't be that hard, inshallah. Okay, so the next one is how to plan a workout plan, or how to plan a workout plan and diet realistically.
So how to plan a workout plan and diet. Um, to do this, I think you need to know your what position you're in right now. Like you need to know how much you weigh, and you need to know your goals. You can't like make a plan if you don't know what the objective is. So you need to know for yourself. Like a lot of people, they just want to. A lot of times people just say, "I want to be healthier," but what is it? Because like, do you want to put on a muscle, or do you want to lose some fat, or do you just want to generally be healthy? You have to know what you want, because everyone's plan is going to be subjective. A lot of people just say like, "How do I do this? How do I do this?" Or can you make a plan for me? But if you're 150 pounds or you're 170 pounds, your goals are going to be different. That amount that you eat is going to be different. Maybe the way you work out is going to be different. Whatever you want to achieve is going to be different. So it's not a one size fits all. So you have to know what you want. That's the first thing. A lot of people just want to get in shape, but they don't know what they want. So knowing like, do you want to gain muscle? Do you want to lose weight? Whatever. Once you know that, then I would say learn how to track calories. That's like the most real, like that's just straightforward. You gotta know, because everybody's gonna eat a different amount. Everyone's gonna eat a different amount for different goals. If you're 150 pounds, you want to lose weight, and yeah, that's the first thing. That's the first step in terms of doing it realistically. You have to know your goals, and you have to learn how to track calories. There's apps like MyFitnessPal. I use it every single day. Like any food you want, anything, as long as the packaging, they have the nutritional values on the back, you put it, and then you can just measure your food. So knowing how to that, and then like I said before, it's a long-term thing. So being realistic is knowing that it's something that's long-term, that you will have some setbacks or whatever. And I don't even call them setbacks, because setback is thinking that there's like an objective. When you think of like, oh, I have an objective to be a certain way, and now I have a setback. There's no setback really. It's just you messed up on a certain day, but you keep going because it's a long-term thing. We should inshallah be doing this until we die, right? So it's not like a setback is something like, oh, I'm trying to achieve this certain thing, and I'm now I've been set back from reaching that goal. But to me, it shouldn't be. The goal should just be like being healthy all the time. But yeah.
Okay, so the next question is how to work out during lockdown, and is it difficult? So I
Yeah.
guess that's more of a personal question. Is it difficult?
Yeah. I think I got into that a little bit. But I feel like specific workouts, I do high intensity interval training. This is means like you're doing push-ups, you whatever exercise you're doing, but you don't take you kind of you're mixing in cardio in between. Like we do like let's say 30 push-ups, 40 push-ups, then we take a break and whatever. But high intensity interval training means that you can just work out for like 20 minutes and you do it's like circuit training. So you can do push-ups, then squats, then a certain ab exercise. There's many, and then you could do like pull-ups if you have a pull-up bar, something like that, or dumbbell curls, or tricep dips. You can just use two chairs, put your feet up on one chair, and put your other hands on another chair and do tricep dips. And you do it like repeatedly. Like I'm gonna do push-ups. As soon as I'm done doing push-ups, now I'm gonna do tricep dips. As soon as I'm done doing that, once you've done like that circuit or that set of 4 exercises, take a break for like a minute, and you're gonna be breathing like super hard. Then keep doing the next. So I would say working out during lockdown is not difficult. You just have to know how to do it. But high intensity interval training is like the best. Even if you had a gym, I'd say do that. Like even when I first started and stuff, I would do this. It's really good for building muscle. Um, but yeah, it's not difficult to work out at home. I mean, you just need a little space. Obviously, I'm not gonna like lie and say that, oh, if you have weights, it's not beneficial. Of course, if you have weights, it's beneficial. If you have all that stuff, but you really don't need it. I mean that genuinely because I don't use it, and I'm someone who really cares about fitness, and I haven't purchased any of that stuff, and I would have. Like I'm someone that I care enough about it that I would, but I don't see the benefit in it, so I don't see any excuse in needing that. There's a brother. I mean, if you guys want to check out on Instagram, his name is Rip Wright. Mashallah, he's a revert brother. He's been Muslim for a long time. Maybe you guys know him. He does not use any weights, and he's like the most ripped guy I've ever seen, mashallah. Not use any weights. He uses just like a pull-up bar. And I know you guys have a thing in like UK about like calisthenics. It's very popular. You guys have like bars.
Yeah, it's quite popular. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that over here. We don't have like the government doesn't set up these parks and stuff, but you guys have that. So for you guys, there's definitely no excuse, man. Calisthenics is like the best thing you can do during a lockdown. That's better than lifting weights. It's better, I promise you. And you guys have no excuse. So since you guys are from the UK, man, you guys can be going doing calisthenics and stuff.
You just hit the park.
Yeah, hit the park. We don't have that as much here. We have like we call them monkey bars or whatever, those bars.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But I mean, I use that sometimes, but we don't have like a designated area. Like I was just in UK. You guys have like a park with like green stuff, right? Like the green equipment. I don't know.
Like maybe.
Yeah. So
yeah, Anas would know.
I don't know. There's one in Half End. It's like a full-on outdoor gym with like pull-up bars and like you do muscle-ups and it's like all this other stuff.
That's crazy. Just going off the Rip Wright, if anyone's interested, MMU did a podcast with Rip Wright. I think it was last week. It was very recently, so you can check that out on their socials as well.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh, it was like a few weeks ago. Mashallah, he's a really good brother.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a question based on the last one, which was about diet, but it just came to my mind. Do you believe in cheat days?
Do I believe in cheat days?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call it a cheat day because here's the thing. Think of it like this: cheat day is different if you're gaining weight or you're trying to lose weight. It's different. But a cheat day, for me personally, I like to stay like ripped. I don't like being big or anything. I just like being like I'm okay if I'm being a little skinny, but I like being just in shape. So I always like to eat less. Like I'm always like kind of cutting in a sense. That's the word cutting, you call it, right? Like losing weight. Because I'm someone that can gain it really easily. So I'm always but a cheat day, imagine like, listen, you go on a calorie deficit for like 200 calorie deficit or 400 calorie deficit for 8 days. So now you're in a 4,000 calorie deficit after 8 days. Now after this 8 day, you're like, listen, today I've been good for 8 days. I'm gonna go all out. And let's say you go on a 2,000 calorie surplus. That's fine. And now you're in a 2,000 calorie deficit after 9 days, which is still because it's still people think like, oh, if you mess up on one day, it doesn't mean that your diet is ruined. For example, like I just said, you were in a 4,000 calorie deficit after 8 days, or sorry, 500 calorie deficit for 8 days. That's 4,000 calories, right? I messed up my math there. So let's say you do down the 2,000 calorie surplus on one day. Like you just go out like with the brothers, like I'm getting pizza, everything. Now you're still in a deficit after these 9 days. In these 9 days, you've achieved a 2,000 calorie deficit. But this idea that I know this is a bit different from the question, but that thing of cheat day, now the guy's like, okay, I messed up today. So tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing, a 2,000 calorie surplus. Now after 10 days, you're in a 0 calorie deficit. You then have reached no calorie deficit after 10 days. You did 8 days of whatever, and after 10 days you ruined it. But if you realize that, okay, after those 9 days, I'm in a 2,000 calorie deficit still, even if I had that whole cheat day, then you realize, okay, let me just keep going because you still achieve the calorie deficit. But in terms of the question was, do I believe in cheat days? I believe in having high surplus days, like eating even more on certain days. And this is specifically for someone trying to lose weight. Someone trying to gain weight, a cheat day is good because they're gaining weight anyway. So it's okay for them to kind of go out and splurge because when you're gaining weight, you still want to eat really healthy. Some people think you eat whatever, but in terms of when you're losing weight, having a cheat day, I call them high. I alternate my calories. So on like 3 days, I'll go in a 500 calorie deficit. And then on the fourth day, I'll do maintenance. So if I burn, let's say 2,500 calories a day, I'll eat 2,000 calories for 3 days. Then on the fourth day, I'll eat maintenance. And that maintenance means I can eat 500 calories more than the other days. So in those 500 calories, I won't feel like hungry. Because a lot of times we want cheat days because we feel so hungry after like not eating, going on a diet for a long time. And so people just think like, let me just eat a bunch of stuff. So I would say having high surplus days will avoid cheat days. Every 3 days, eat at maintenance level. That way you're not gaining anything, but you're not losing anything either. You're not going to feel hungry on that day. The next day you'll feel hungry, but at least you got that little break. And then in terms of the foods you eat, like I said, we want cheat days, especially because we don't have sugar for like a long time. Like sometimes I don't eat sugar for a long time when I'm eating healthy. So now I'm like, I want to have a cheat day. Like I'm craving cookies. So knowing a cheat day, so it's okay to have a quote unquote cheat day. I don't like calling it that though. Like I said, I like calling it like high surplus days. That way you avoid having like a one big cheat day after like 10 days. But I would say the foods you eat, like I said, don't have like processed food. Don't have like Doritos or crisps or ice cream, sugary stuff like that, because that is gonna make you crave more and more and more. And when you have high surplus days, like the foods that you choose to eat on those days that you want to take a break, make sure they're not like so processed. Like Nutella is really bad. But if you have like homemade banana and chocolate chip muffin or bread, the quality of the food is better, but you're still getting that satisfaction, But it's not some processed like Oreos. That stuff, it packs on the calories. There's no nutritional value. But you can make like a homemade cookie or pancakes or oatmeal and add some like nuts and dates, and it'll taste like really good, So I would say when you have these cheat days, you have to plan it. You have to plan it properly. But like I said, when you plan it, it just ends up being high surplus days, high calorie days, not a cheat day, So you plan, I think, okay, on the fourth day, I'm having this many calories, and I'm gonna instead add in like some oatmeal, maybe with a bit of Nutella, but it's still healthy, right? But I still get that craving I was looking for, that sweet, like, you know what I mean? Satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the next question, I'm just gonna join the bottom two, which is how do you best gain weight? Whether it's diet and fitness, how do you best gain weight?
Tracking calories is the most important. That's the most important thing. A lot of people think I eat a lot because they feel like they eat a lot. Like, oh, I'm full, so that means I ate a lot. Do not mix calories with the amount that you're eating. Calories is completely different. When I was gaining weight, before I wanted to gain weight when I was playing basketball, Now I don't at all. But at that point, because I need to get bigger because the competition, whatever. So I was eating more calories than I needed, but I still felt hungry because the foods I was eating were like really good. Like I was eating like nuts, salmon, like fish. I had like 2 salads a day. That was my main meal. In the morning, I had eggs, and my calories were above what I was burning that day, but I still felt hungry. So do not confuse how you feel with the calories. There's a certain, I forgot the exact term, but it's a certain hormone that makes you feel like you want to eat, keep eating. Some people, it's worse for them. So like if they're not hungry, they'll still want to eat. But that's why some people, like, for example, say like this guy, man, he can eat like McDonald's every day and he doesn't gain weight, my friend. But me, when I do it, I gain weight. I have one friend, the brother who I'm actually doing it with, he's the other brother who's doing basketball with me. He, I've seen him, wallahi, I've seen him go to McDonald's, have like five cans of pop or soda,
Yeah.
and like ice cream and all that stuff. But he won't eat for the entire day after that. But me, if I go do that, 5 hours later, I'm gonna do the same thing. That's why I'm gaining weight. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
knowing that, like understanding like what's actually going on, like we see these people and they're so skinny, but like they eat whatever, but they actually don't eat that much. When you see them, yeah, maybe they eat like a lot, but generally they don't eat a lot of food because their calories are not a certain number. But to gain weight, you have to track your calories. Like going back to how you feel. I've had friends who are like pretty skinny and they want to gain weight and they're like, I can't gain weight no matter how much I eat. I'm like, how many calories are you eating? They don't know how many calories they're eating, but they just like they feel stuffed after the meal, so they think, okay, now I'm gonna gain weight. How you feel is not. You might have to eat more, even more than that. So then you have to plan how you eat, especially with gaining weight. It's harder in terms of diet. People think like, oh, it's only with losing weight, but with gaining weight, you have to actually plan. At 11 a.m., I'm eating this. At 1 p.m., I'm eating this. At 3 p.m., I'm eating this. And because you might not feel hungry, but you need to eat it. Because when you work out, your body is like tearing down muscle cells, and then it's rebuilding. And when you eat more, right? Now you're fueling your body and you're building muscle by eating more. You're instead of it going straight to fat, the excess amount of calories is going to now be turned into turning muscle, right? So you have to plan your meals very well. Like 9 a.m. I'm eating this, 11 a.m. I'm eating this, and calories. You can search up online. It's like TDEE, or you can search up even on the app MyFitnessPal, which I recommended, and I really hope you all write that down. It's called MyFitnessPal. Like it's the best app. There's a few other apps like it, but this is my favorite. And they can tell you like the amount that you need to eat for your certain goals. What you can put the weight that you want to be. If you're like 160 pounds, I want to be 170, and you can put the time crunch. You want to be this by, 1 month. I want to gain this weight, or 2 months. It'll tell you how many calories you have to eat every day, and meet the calories. Meet the calories. It's not about how you feel. Like, oh, I just ate a lot of food. I'm skinny and I'm so full, so now I'm gonna gain weight. No, you have to meet the calorie goals, um, and being able to adjust. Because if you see that you're not gaining weight at this amount of calories, increase your calories by like 100 every day, like every week. And if you don't see any improvements, keep doing that. But people really don't know the importance of calories. You really have to calculate that for gaining weight.
Okay, so do you have any examples of like foods to eat if you want to put on weight?
It's the same. It's the same. Okay, rice. Rice is really good.
Oh, sorry by the way, we got 10 minutes left, just to let you know.
Okay.
So yeah, just letting you know we've got 10 minutes for the rest of these questions to each other.
Yeah. For gaining weight, rice is really good. Rice. I feel like as Muslims, I mean, of course, you can be Muslim, you can be like Canadian or American, but I mean, most Muslims, like Muslim countries, like most of the food we eat, is like we all eat like some type of meat every day. Like our moms cook something like that, some rice. So eating a lot of that, that's like the best thing you can have. Rice like good carbs, like rice, bread, um, milk is good too. Milk is something that has calories. Anas is good with this. It's like a date shake he makes too. That making shakes when you want to gain weight are really good because you don't feel like oh, I'm so full. Like you can just drink it and you're done, but the calories are there. You can make a shake with like 1,000 calories, and you need 3,000 calories in a day, and you drink that 1,000 calories in like, I don't know, like 30 seconds, 1 minute. but you just got in like 1/3 of your goal for that day. So having shakes, that's something you should really do. And it's subjective to what you want. You want to put bananas in it, you want to put whatever. But the foods you eat should be a lot. Fruits are really good and they have a lot of calories. But try to eat stuff that you can, yeah, fruits, but I would say rice and meat. That's like the most important thing, man. Like rice, meat, simple, good carbs. Bananas are really good. They have like 120 calories per banana. Eggs are good. What else? Dates. Dates have a lot of calories and they taste amazing and they're good for you as well. Dates are something you can like snack on. You have like 20 dates and you're good for like one portion of your day. Nuts. Nuts. Like if you don't eat those, like peanuts, whatever, those are really, really good because they have a lot of calories and you'll get your goals quick.
Yes, Jazakallah khair. Okay, so
Oh yeah, cool.
the next two questions we've kind of already covered. But I'm just gonna speak about Ramadan just very quickly since we only got like probably like 5 minutes left. So
Yeah.
what's your Ramadan plan for fitness and how can we kind of tailor our Ramadan to fit in fitness?
So it's the same thing. You have to plan. That's one thing. You have to plan. But here's one thing, and I'll get into that question at the bottom too, actually. Keto diet and intermittent fasting. All these diets have some implications to them that will be good for certain people. Maybe you have a certain type of diabetes. Some will say, oh, try intermittent fasting. But in a practical sense, trying to lose weight, trying to gain weight, all these diets are just ways to do it. So intermittent fasting, and I'm going to touch on the Ramadan here, is like intermittent fasting is something, I don't know if you guys checked out my page recently, but I spoke about it, where people think because I'm fasting the entire day, now when the fast is done, I can eat whatever I want and I'm going to lose weight because I was so hungry for like 18 hours. That's not how it works. And the main thing I want everyone to get out of today is calories, the importance of calories, because it just keeps going back to that. It doesn't matter if you fasted 18 hours, 20 hours. You didn't even wake up for suhoor, you know? Oh, I was so hungry today, so now I'm going to eat all this stuff and I'm going to be skinny. No, it's calories, right? So the amount of calories that you eat is going to have an effect on whether you gain weight or lose weight. So these diets, keto diet, intermittent fasting, they're all ways to achieve these goals. So someone like me, I like intermittent fasting because I like I said, I get hungry easily. And if I can't eat like a small meal and go throughout my day. No, I need to have a big meal and feel full. So instead of having 3 small meals, I'll have 2 big meals. And so that's what makes intermittent fasting easier for me to lose weight. You're not losing weight because you're fasting. You're losing weight because of the calorie deficit, which you achieve through intermittent fasting. Keto diet. You're not losing weight because you just chose to eat fats. You're losing weight because you cut out the carbs. But and really, what are you doing by cutting out the carbs? You're cutting out the processed stuff like Oreos, crisps, all that stuff, because that's the stuff that has carbs. I thought I was doing keto diet a long time ago, but I was eating a lot of fruits, and fruits have a lot of carbs. So I wasn't really in a keto diet, but the whole time I thought I was in a keto diet because I didn't realize fruits have a lot of carbs, right? So really, a keto diet is just, it's a mindset that, oh, I'm going to cut out carbs, and then naturally you cut out the Oreos, you cut out the crisps because those have carbs, and now you think, oh, it's because of keto diet I'm losing weight. No, you're losing weight because you're in a calorie deficit. So same thing with Ramadan. When Ramadan comes, eating healthy, most of the time, I mean, we during Ramadan, we really focus on what we eat. Your parents, or I mean, inshallah, our families are making a lot of different kinds of food. There will be a lot of unhealthy stuff, but there'll be some kind of rice, some meat, whatever. Don't go overboard with it. Just because you fasted the entire day, drink a lot of water. A lot of times we're dehydrated and our body tells us we're hungry. But when you first, every time I break my fast, and I'm sure we all do, but I drink a lot of water to fill me up. And I'll have a few dates, whatever, and I'll drink a lot of water. That way I'm not going to overeat. Make sure you stay hydrated, because when you're dehydrated, you'll eat more than you need to. So make sure you're hydrated during Ramadan. When you're done, focus on getting the water in first. That's what I always do. Obviously break your fast for the day, inshallah, but then have some water. And then when you eat, fasting during Ramadan is just like intermittent fasting. And you need to, like, when we're so hungry, we have to, when we break our fast, realize that we don't need to actually eat that much. Eat slowly, eat your first plate, take a break for a few hours, and then maybe eat again at suhoor time. But you'll realize that you're not actually as hungry as you think you are, just because you haven't eaten in so long, but you don't need that many calories. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So where would you fit in like the exercise? in the day?
Exercise. I break my fast right. I exercise right. Well, me personally, I've been exercising for so long that I can even do it like at 1 p.m. if I'm breaking my fast at 9. But normally I still like to do it right before I break my fast. And if you, I know we don't have time, but if you guys search it up, just search up a video. What are the benefits of working out while fasted and then eating right away? It's better for muscle development actually. Like when you work out fasted and then eat right away, most of the energy to say like it goes to your muscles first. So it's really good to work out right, because we know we want to pray Tarawih prayer. We want to then, pray with the family, everything. Like you're not doing anything right before you break your fast. So sometime before you break your fast, work out and avoid like really um, unhealthy food. And when I mean unhealthy, I always mean stuff that's processed to me personally. Because yes, there is, chips. You guys call it chips, like fries. We call it fries, for example. If you make it homemade, right? And you fry it yourself, whatever, with like maybe better oil, or you use less oil, or you air fry it. It's not the same thing as chips you get from McDonald's. And you can't just generally say chips are unhealthy. So I don't like saying that avoid unhealthy food, because most time when we're eating during Ramadan, even if our moms whatever make something like, that we find oily, they made it like homemade. It's generally like not too unhealthy, but everything is in moderation. Don't have like too much of it. Don't overeat during Ramadan. That's my main thing. Like do not overeat. So
Okay, so what are the benefits of fasting? I know you already touched on this briefly.
yeah, benefit.
So,
I mean, you'll realize that when you fast, you're gonna actually have a lot more energy. Like we realize it ourselves. Like in the first week of Ramadan, we don't like we feel so sluggish and tired. Like man, we're hungry. Like we're not used to this. And then when you're weekend, you realize that your executive function, like your schoolwork, your daily tasks, like you feel like you have a lot more energy all of a sudden. It allows your stomach to have a break as well. You're not digesting food all the time. We lose energy because we're digesting food. When but when we're not digesting food, now we have energy to do other things. Our body uses a lot of energy to digest food. And it's really, yeah, like I said, it's really good for achieving fat loss goals. Even if you want to gain weight, it's really good for gaining weight too. There's other benefits you could search up for fasting. But the main thing I would say is like it increases your energy levels. People think like I'm fasting, so I can't work out, but just try it. Try working out before you break your fast. But like I don't know how much time we have, but really I want all the brothers here to know, like don't overeat during Ramadan. That's like it's coming up soon. It just because you fasted the entire day does not mean like, I'm not saying be hungry, but I mean drink water so you're not dehydrated, because if you're dehydrated, you're gonna eat a lot more than you need to. And take a break, eat slowly. Like to eat slowly, and then you'll really see how hungry you are. But when we just stuff our face and then we realize later, oh, I wasn't that hungry, I feel stuffed, and now you gain weight. So
okay, so the next question, it's not on the board. What foods that are sunnah can be eaten with a diet? Which foods would you recommend?
every day in the morning, like I still do intermittent. I don't even really do intermittent fasting because I don't like restrict the timing that I eat now, but I just eat 2 times a day. I've done intermittent fasting for like forever. So now I'm used to eat. I can even just eat one meal at 9 a.m. and one at 8 p.m. and I'm cool. But really, intermittent fasting means that you eat within a certain window. Like you don't eat for 20 hours, and you eat all your calories within 4 hours. So you're hungry for 20 hours, but in those 4 hours you're so satisfied and you continue going. But with me, like in the morning, I'll have dates and honey every single day with yogurt and some fruits. So dates and honey are really good. They're healthy. Honey is like amazing for you. It's a good sweetener and it's natural. Dates as well. They're amazing. Whenever I'm craving like cookies, ice cream, something like that, and have dates, it satisfies my cravings. Um, Olive oil is really good too. You can have that with like most of the foods that we cook. Olive oil is really good. You can cook with olive oil. But yeah, that's what I was
Exactly. I think this is gonna be the last
Oh, yeah.
question before we finish. So, how do you stay motivated?
Staying motivated is don't compare yourself to other people. Surround yourself with like good brothers. Surround yourself with brothers who are on the same journey as you. Understanding it's a long-term thing. When we understand it's a short-term thing and we think like, oh, we hit a setback, now we're demotivated. Understanding why you want to do it. If your intention is really like, I'm kind of weird, but I think like kind of like when I imagine like the companions and stuff like that, the Prophet I'll be peace with them. I think like, damn, these are like fit people, and I want to be like them. I think I want to be like a warrior, man. Some of them were like crazy warriors. I want to be exactly like that. I want to look like that. I want to be tough. I want to be strong. Like, I want to have good character, inshallah, but I want to be strong too. So I think like that too. Like I think like that's what, having like your why and understanding why you want to do it will motivate you to do it. If you're doing it for something like shallow, you're not going to continue doing it. If you're doing it for a shallow reason, like I want to impress this person or I want to look a certain way. And that's the other thing. I hope I didn't like give on a bad impression that it's not about how you look. Okay, like you can still be healthy and not look a certain way. Not everybody's like, mashallah, some people are blessed with like really good bodies naturally, but you can still be a healthy person and not look a certain way. So I would say in order to stay motivated, you have to understand that you can still, even I believe there's a narration of the Prophet Fatima radiallahu anha, before she married Ali radiallahu anha, they were kind of joking about how he had a bit of a belly because he's a little bit chubby.
Yeah.
So not everyone was like super ripped and everything. Not everybody had like a perfect body. So understanding that and having a reason. For me personally, like I said, that's what motivates me. Like I want to be like them. So I think like that. But having something like that will motivate you, inshallah.
So Jazakallah khair. I think one thing we've learned over this weekend is definitely your why is your main thing that pushes you, your purpose, like why you want to do it, and having been sincere in that. I think this brings us a close to the breakout rooms. Okay, so we're gonna close in like 25 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jazakallah khair for all the questions.
Right. But I mean, what you probably learned throughout this entire weekend, like you said, like having the why, but it's trying to be like the companions of Prophet ﷺ. Like they have the best example. And there's many hadiths, like I didn't mention, but the Prophet ﷺ saying like eat 1/3 for food, 1/3 for water, 1/3 for air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of advice, and that's the best advice to take from Prophet.
Perfect.